Hello there, Pisces. Thank you so much for stopping by for your tarot video recording. Tarot video forecast, I should say, for the week of November 16th through the 22nd. All right, so on Monday, what you guys have coming up is you have the Knight of Swords in reverse. This is somebody that you will be interacting with on Monday. And this is somebody who is going to be taking some great dramatic action to protect something that they feel very strongly about. However, they don't have all the information they should have had before they started this, and they're going to end up wishing they hadn't done it later on. So when you see this person coming, stay as far away from them as you possibly can. They are going to be wanting to draw you into their action. Try to avoid that as much as possible if you can. And the reason is because once they realize that this was not really what they wanted to do, then the finger pointing and the blaming is going to start. So it's just better if you're not in on that situation. That way nobody can really do any finger pointing towards you. Okay, so that's advice for Monday. Tuesday, what you have coming up is you have the Three of Clubs. This talks about travel or making travel plans. And this also talks about inspiring new dreams. And I feel like for some of you this is about travel, but for others of you this is about inspiring new dreams. And I feel like those dreams are starting to take motion on Tuesday. So these are not dreams that you're just now dreaming about, but these are dreams that are starting to pick up some momentum and actually take some motion on Tuesday. Not coming in completely, but they're in progress. Okay. Now Wednesday, what you have coming up, my dear Pisces friends, is you have the World card. And the World card basically means you have no limitations. The only limitations that we really have are the limitations that we put on ourselves. And this is a card that's a reminder of that. So when I see this card, that tells me that some of you are going to be thinking that you have certain limitations that you have to fall into. And this card is kind of a nudge that, hey, maybe you don't. Maybe you don't have to go by those limitations. Maybe you're not limited. Excuse me. Now Thursday, what we have showing up is we have the Seven of Swords in reverse. Seven of Swords in reverse. Picking up some different stuff up at this card than usual. It feels to me like somebody has pulled the wool over your eyes, or tried to pull the wool over your eyes, I should say, about something. But you knew what was going on whenever they were doing this, and you just kind of let them go to see where it would end up. On Thursday, what happens is you see where it's ending up, and the situation is just getting worse instead of better. They're not feeling guilty. They're not trying to make things right. Or maybe they are trying to make things right, but just the way they do it, they act like it's no big deal or something like that, because I see you guys just seeing red. And I see you wanting some retribution over this thing that happened that you let them get away with, that they thought they were getting away with without you knowing about. So I see you taking some kind of action. In fact, when I look at this card, the impression that I get, and this is the way I see it because it came up reversed, but the impression that I get, if you see the man, he's holding some swords in his hand, they're almost like, they're kind of up by his shoulder. The impression Spirit is giving me is of these swords just like twirling around, like, okay, looking for where they can land, where they can make sure this stuff gets cut out at this point so that this does not happen again. It feels to me like you've had enough, and you're not taking prisoners now over this whole situation. All right, so let's move on to Friday. Friday, you have the Queen of Clubs in reverse. I think Friday you're feeling really kind of down and blue. You're not feeling like doing much. You're not feeling inspired about the things that you are doing. And so it's kind of one of those blah days where you're doing things, but you're just not feeling that great about what you're doing. So I think a blah day is about the best way that I can describe that for you. Now, Saturday. Okay, so Saturday we have the Strength card coming up in reverse. And that just means, Pisces, that you're being really hard on yourself on Saturday. There's something happened that you're blaming yourself for. You're going, well, if only I would have done this, or if I would have done that, or if I would have said this. And when this card comes up, what's going on is you're blaming yourself for the outcome of a situation that you really didn't have that much control over. So 2 words. Stop it. Just stop it. Okay? Excuse me. Blaming yourself for something that you did not have that much control over does not help anybody. It certainly doesn't help the person who did have control have any kind of accountability. It certainly doesn't help you feel good about yourself. And it certainly just doesn't help the situation get any better. So if you're blaming yourself for a situation and you step back and you realize, wow, I really didn't have that much control over it, then maybe it's time to stop beating yourself up over it, for starters. Okay, so that's Saturday. And then for Sunday, and then the other thing too on Saturday is maybe you should let the person who actually should be accountable know that if they would have done something different, maybe things would have been okay. But that's going to be a judgment call on your part, whether you actually want to do that or not, want to go there or not, and want to stir up that energy or not. Judgment call on your part. But for some of you, I think that's going to be very necessary. Not all of you, though. Now, Sunday, what you have coming up is the Ace of Coins in reverse. An Ace of Coins in reverse is just telling me that you are giving a gift to somebody on Sunday. Now, a gift is not something that anybody deserves or earns. This is something that you give them purely out of the goodness of your own heart. Okay? So that is your week, Pisces. Thank you so much, everybody, for stopping by and watching, hanging out with me. I do appreciate all your likes, your shares, your subscribes, and your comments. Everyone have a fantastic day, or excuse me, a fantastic week. And I'll see you back here next time. Peace out.